I'm Jennifer Marshall, and I live with type 1 bipolar disorder. Over the past 12 years, I've been hospitalized 5 times for manic episodes. The first time came out of nowhere after barely sleeping for a week. The second time happened 2 weeks later when I was admitted to the psychiatric ward on Christmas Day. During the years I was having my children, twice I was handcuffed and hospitalized by police officers, taken to the hospital in a police car. And the most recent episode happened just this past fall after the death of my This Is My Brave co-founder and dear friend, Anne-Marie Ames. She suffered a heart attack. My journey with mental illness is not unlike the way most of us struggle with it. I hid my pain and feared I would never get better. Thankfully, that horrible chapter of my life didn't last forever, and I found solid recovery in 2010. And when I began on that recovery path, I was desperate to find stories from individuals who had found a way to live successful, fulfilling lives despite this lifelong condition that has no cure. The only problem was that no one in my circle of friends or family was talking about it. So I did what most of us do when we're searching for something, and I turned to the internet. I found a community of people who were blogging about their mental health conditions in such a way that I was inspired to share mine. I began writing my own story on a blog that I titled bipolarmomlife.com. And I have a quick story about that. When I first met Anne-Marie, we were at a party introduced by friends, and she took one look at me. I had just opened up publicly about my story, and she said, "You're bipolar mom." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Most people call me Jen." But it was chemistry that night. We met and fell in love talking about the fact that we were both so passionate about mental health and mental health awareness. And she joined me. And after 2 years of blogging, that eventually led me to launch This Is My Brave with Anne-Marie. The power of This Is My Brave lies in the power of storytelling, a person's ability to be vulnerable, raw, and honest. These days, we put our highlight reels on social media, afraid to show any flaws or struggles. But it's when we open up about our journeys through darkness that we not only help ourselves to heal, but countless others who come to our shows, like you're here tonight, who read our stories on the blog and see our videos on YouTube. Those struggling silently find hope in knowing that if someone up there could get through it, maybe I can get through it too. So when one person decides to be brave, they give others the permission to do the same, and I like to call it brave multiplying brave. Since 2014, This Is My Brave has produced 42, I think, I'm losing track because there's so many, unique shows in cities all across the United States, and we also went international last year with shows in Australia. This show tonight is going to be our 43rd production to date, and we're so thrilled that you're here. It's a privilege and an honor to be in the audience to hear these brave stories. 2018 marks our 4th year of helping people tell the world that mental illness is a part of me. It's not all of me, it's just a part of my story. Our YouTube channel contains over 650 personal stories from our shows. This year, we're working with volunteers to produce 20 unique shows in the US alone, and we're also producing our first documentary film thanks to a prestigious grant that we were awarded by Alkermes. Our organization was devastated last fall by the sudden loss of our co-founder, Anne-Marie. This Is My Brave wouldn't be here today if she hadn't joined me in what at times feels like the impossible task of tackling the stigma surrounding mental illness. It's been difficult for me to imagine going on without her, but I know that she would have wanted me to press forward. She wanted all of us to press forward. As she said during the production of our first show, This Is My Brave is like we're putting a pebble into the lake, and it's going to ripple out, and more people will get to hear the stories. Tonight, we honor her memory, as we do with each of our shows. Those ripples she spoke of have turned into waves. This Is My Brave's mission is to get to the place where one day we live in a world where we don't have to call it brave for talking openly about mental illness. We will simply call it talking. And we're doing this again tonight, one person and one brave story at a time. So let's get started.